Wade and Wade reacts.
We have a subscriber request to react to a video from Zethithonics. Hopefully I said his name right. So let's get into it.
Guys, welcome back to Zeno's channel. Today we are back with another H.L.M.S episode again. The protagonist of today's episode will be Leo from Gundam Wing series. Before we start this video, make sure you subscribe to me and hit the bell next to it. Remember to turn on your CC sub. Enjoy. In the Tragos episode, we already know that OZ simplified the Tragos and redesigned into two different MS. Because the Tragos' deadly acceleration and expensive cost, OZ simplified the design and created the Leo series.
Put a jetpack on it though.
OZ removed the Super Vanya backpack and armor. This action allowed normal pilots to control the Leo easily, even though the mobility and defense were severely decreased. But the cost is in control and the maneuverability is substantially improved. The overall structure was simplified and the height was shortened. The heat radiators on the chest were simplified. All the defensive armor was reduced and only the chest got extra protection. The skirt was redesigned and replaced with two thrusters for simple repositioning. The head was simplified and cannot equip the extra mask like the Tragos. The Leo itself was just like the Ares. It was equipped with hard points on the shoulders, back, and thighs. The hard points allow the Leo to carry different weapons or equipment to adapt the battlefield, making the Leo become versatile and quickly.
That's why I need a jetpack so I can get out of there.
In May AC-175, the Leo was officially mass-produced and became the main forces. The first generation was deployed and is called Leo Early Type. This version don't have a lot of difference compared to the one we saw in anime. The early type had a simplified head design, less armor on the knees and ankles, and no extra armor plates on the shoulders. The rest of the settings were exactly the same like the one we saw in the anime. The Leo and Leo early type armaments include a shield that contained two beam sabers and a 105mm rifle. As I said before, the Leo itself had a lot of hard points for different equipment and weapons. Alternatively, the pilot can choose the following weapons: beam rifle normal type for firepower, beam rifle shorty type for rapid fire, beam rifle colony type for universal use in space or on Earth. It can be fitted with long or short barrel. All three of the rifles were powered by a removable energy pack. Through an attachment piece, it can use the Dola gun, a strong recoil weapon with destructive power to damage the gunners. The Leo could equip two of them. The Leo could also equip a bazooka, large beam cannon, and beam cannon from the Taurus. To further upgrade the firepower of the Leo, OZ upgraded it to Leo cannon type.
How many load out like that? Two cannons on the shoulder and a
Other than that, there
rifle.
wasn't any improvements. This variant will only be used by officers or team commanders.
In a jetpack.
On the back of the Leo, there is a hard point for different type of backpacks. The Leo can equip three types of backpacks. The first one is the parachute pack. The second one is the
Dang, they got a char clone in this too? That's crazy.
Let the Leo fly in the atmosphere for a short period of time. There is another pair of boosters on the thighs to help taking off or rapid accelerations. The third backpack is called Space Backpack. It's a cylindrical booster backpack equipped with rocket and vernier thrusters. Once the space backpack was equipped, it's called Leo Space Type. Most of the space type will be colored in
Oh yeah, I like that.
However, because this variant was hastily built from
They getting whooped on, but that's cool though.
Yeah, I can change directions.
Performance was below average. When Romo Valor Foundation was testing the mobile door system, Leo became the first test subject of that system. I will explain the system properly when I'm doing an episode on the AMD system MS in the future. In the test field, the Leo's back will have a lot of cables connected on it. The early AMD system still need a cable to control the commands, but later in the story, the AMD system was successfully developed and all you need to do is to enter the command before deploying the MS. The AMD system experiment Leo was shown once in the anime. It was in a test field and all three of them were destroyed by Teresu Shiminada, just like most of the MP type MS throughout the Gundam franchise. Leo had an early warning and control variant. It's called Ewok Leo or Reconnaissance Leo. This version appeared in the G-Unit manga. The purpose of this MS was collecting enemies' data and send it back to the fleet. It will always stay at the back of the battlefield. The Ewok Leo is painted with purple, equipped with a space pack, and its only weapon will be the 105mm rifle. The most obvious change will be the camera eyes were changed from 1 to 3, and a large radar on the back just like most of the Ewok suits. One of them was damaged by Gundam H.L.M.S 01 and self-destructed before the pilot asked anything from the spy. In the Frozen Teardrop novel, one of the variations called Leo Type 2 Chimera was mentioned. very little known information about this variation. All I know was that the Leo Type 2 was deployed once before the anime timeline. It was made from the prototype Leos, used by Trace faction to fight against the Rebel faction in Mogadishu. In Trace insistence, all the Leo Type 2s were painted in white. The armaments were assumed to be the same as the standard Leo. Using the Leo starter, the developers redesigned the concept to ground-type support-based MS. The Tragos was developed. Just like the Leo is a mass production MS, but its job is a mid-range artillery. In the old days, the Tragos was considered as one of the best support MS.
Pass on that.
A simple, sexy design and self-help.
I want my mobile suit to have legs.
Unlike the Leo, the Tragos was purely designed for artillery purpose, which means all the melee abilities were removed. The Tragos can switch between two modes, MS and hover mode.
There go the leg right there.
Oh, that's cold. Then I would definitely operate that one.
Can it go in space though?
Good question.
Or the mobile suit that's transferable from atmosphere to space.
To fire with better accuracy and stabilize the fire process. Once the legs unfolded, the Tragos will transform into MS, but its mobility, performance, and speed will be dramatically decreased. Basically, the Tragos is useless during MS mode, and I don't know why OZ even designed this small. Other than the cannons on shoulders, the Tragos could use a beam rifle too. The Tragos will mostly serve as the defensive team of OZ's bases and supporting from mid-range. As the battlefield shifted to mobile doors and new machines kept being developed, the Tragos was more outdated than the Leo. During Operation Nova, Tragos was officially eliminated from the battlefield. Leo is not only used by soldiers, it also had ace pilots' own customization to fit their fighting style. In the G-Unit manga,
G-Unit 50 Cent must be operating that Gundam.
Destruction was shown to have his own custom black Leo. There is no official information about it. All we got is one page in the manga. Other than the obvious armor changes and the color is black, I can't find anything else about Velder's Leo. One of the OZ Prize members, Roche National, also had his own custom Leo. It's a space
You have to be a high-ranking officer to get a custom-made mobile suit.
Customization competition. The design was reused and put into the G-Unit manga. OZ Prize, a group of elites that are as powerful as Zex or Trace, had their own customized Leo. The Stardust Knights have 3 members. Each one of them got their own Leo. Started with the first leader of OZ Prize, Leo S piloted by Roche National. The Leo S was
He made sure his was smooth, huh?
Who made the giant cake though? It's like a 40-foot cake.
That's crazy.
The whole machine was designed based on one idea, Novo, which was why you see the gold decorations all over the body, as well as the cloak. The cloak is called Diffuser Cloak. It's not sure whether this is just a decoration or not. Offensively, the Leo S got a pair of Beam Jewel Saber and Beam Musket as its primary ranged weapons. The Leo S performance wasn't good at all, even though it's a heavily customized unit. But its
Suit looks
power
trash
was
though,
close
so
compared to both
the hair that's not that good, it makes sense.
The Gemini 01 melted away the Leo S Beam Musket. Then the Gemini 02 came and chopped off its right arm before Odell Barnett sacrificed himself to save his brother. Later in the story, as Velder Farkill usurped OZ Prize, Crash Sylvie betrayed the Stardust Knights and severely damaged the Leo S. Roche
It would be cool if the cape had anti-beam technology in it.
After he knows the truth, he defected to MO5. The second Leo in the Stardust Knights is called Leo R. This design removed a lot of armor and the overall weight became lighter, which means the mobility and agility was greatly increased. The Leo R don't have the best weapons, but its speed is enough to make the enemy confused and slice them.
Looks like they customized their Leos simply for aesthetics and style.
Active jammer Reed. For the armaments, 2 shoulder shields and Beam Jewel Lancer, other than the feminine and slender look. Honestly, there wasn't any other information. The Leo R deployed for a total of 3 times. The first battle was against the Gemini 02. The Leo R's Lancer was destroyed by the Gemini 02. However, later in the battle, the Leo R used the supercharged beam cannon and destroyed the Gemini 02 using space mines. In the end, OD was captured by OZ Prize. When Velder usurped OZ Prize, Crash betrayed the Stardust Knights and severely damaged the Leo S to show his loyalty towards Velder. Lastly, when Hydra Venom and Leo Leo R was about to end Gundam Aesculapius, Gundam Grip came out from the asteroid and chopped off Leo R's both arms. Before the Leo R was retired, it was heavily damaged by Gundam LO booster. That's the last time we see the Leo R. The third Leo of the Stardust Knights is called Leo N. This design enhanced the battle performance, power, and defense. The first obvious change is the armor. It became bigger and thicker. The defensive abilities were greatly increased. The armor is good enough to defend against the shots from a 105mm machine gun. However, the mobility and effectiveness are very poor. It's basically
I can tell.
a soft target. The Leo N got the worst performance in the team of three. The Leo N armaments include 2 beam sabers, machine cannons on the shoulders, a head axe, and the enlarged shoulder shields.
For what though?
Deployed for 3 times.
You can't even see what's going on the side of you with those big shoulder pads.
Hopefully it's a camera in it.
Soon, the Leo N's right arm was chopped off by H.L.M.S. 01 and it was retreated. The second battle was
I bet he didn't even see it coming either.
Other than it threw the H.L.M.S. 01 to the space mines, it didn't do anything. The Leo N is the only Stardust Knights member that was completely wrecked. It was destroyed by Hydra Gundam when Velvet became the leader of OZ Prize.
So waste of material.
When OD Burnt returned from OZ Prize, he brought some of the MD system data back to MO5. Using the MD system data and leftover parts from the Leos, the D units were quickly mass-produced. The D units will be used as a defensive
That's
overall
trash.
along with the Leo T.
It's working. It looks like it's only for space.
Okay.
System. In order to cut the cost and for easier production, the limbs were removed and replaced by 2 large thrusters and 2 beam cannons. Although the D units were not as powerful as a standard Leo, but because it could be mass-produced in a large number, it still played a big role for the MO5 defense battle. A direct upgrade from the Leo Type 2, the Leo 3 Chimera was created. There is so little information about the Leo 3. Other than the battle performance was enhanced, I can't find any information about the upgrade details and armaments. The only deploy record I can find is that some Leo 3 successfully defeated the USA Army. The final form of the Leo, introducing the Leo Type 4 Grief. I don't know
looks
whether
pretty
this is
good.
count as Leo
It does.
or Torquis. Adding all the technologies and flight ability, this was the new concept of the Leo Type 4. First, the developers changed all the armor and weapons back to the Torquis standards. Other than double gun shield and 2 beam sabers, the Leo Type 4 can choose ballistic or beam rifle, and the same cannons from the Tragos as optional weapons. The developers brought back the jet engines on Ares and added them on the backpack and back skirts, making the Leo Type 4 having a similar mobility and acceleration like Torquis. For the appearance,
Hopefully you can survive the war long enough to get that upgrade.
The crown was brought back too. Since the
That's
Leo
the hard
Type 4 was
part.
designed as a high-performance and assault mass-production MS, the battle performance was nearly like the Torquis, very suitable for frontline attacks. However, this idea went against the original intention, which means the cost will be dramatically increased. This variant was no longer cost-effective, but rather just mass-producing the Torquis itself. When C's Clark saw this design, he even said that, why didn't you guys mass-produce Torquis instead in the first place? He got so angry about the idea went against the mass-production intention, he resigned from OZ after seeing the Leo Type 4 design. In AC-186, the readers had Marius plan
so
to
bad
use
to him that he
Leo
resigned.
Type 4 as their main
It's
force.
crazy.
Before Dekim Barton decided to mass-produce the Serpents, another MS plan was created for Dekim's Operation Meteor. This MS will be operated through MD system. It's called Capricorn. The Capricorn was developed to counter against Tenlong Gundam's Zero system. This MS was developed based on Leo, but the MS itself was more like a combination rather than upgrade. As a new MS, it featured no new parts or technologies. The head was from Viet and Mercurius. The torso was from Torquis. The limbs were from Serpent. Even the only weapon was borrowed from Apion and Torquis 3's design. The Capricorn was originally planned to be produced in a large number, but the plan was cancelled as Dekim Barton received the parts and plans for the Serpents. But one of them was created for testing purpose. A direct upgrade from the Leo combined with the data of Gundam Heavy Arms, the Serpent, was created. As Leo was slowly fading out from the battlefield, USA wanted to develop a new generation MS that can operate on Earth and in space without switching equipment, as well as having the same firepower and defense like the Gundams. For the armor material, the Serpent was built with neo-titanium instead. This material is half as light and twice as strong as conventional titanium alloys. For the cockpit,
We need that in real life.
like the Leo, except it was equipped with extra enhanced targeting and lock-on system. For the weapons, it was completely based on the Gundam Heavy Arms, except the Army knife was removed removed, which means the Serpent have no melee ability. On the shoulders, it got 8 tube missile launchers, a double Gatling gun as handheld weapon. This weapon was developed from Gundam H.L.M.S custom. The Serpent can also choose optional weapons like Bazooka, Beam Cannon from Virgo, or Torgus 3's Mega Beam Cannon. The Serpent was developing in Recon by USA. As OZ started Operation Daybreak, USA was defeated and collapsed. Very soon, Barton Foundation took the Serpent's development plan and secretly continued the development. In AC-196, 500 Serpents were completed and served as Marimea Army's main force. Before they land on Earth, some of the Serpents were destroyed by Torgus 3. One Serpent was used by Troll Barton when he was a spy. He fought against Dio Maxwell in a Leo and let him go. The rest of the Serpents were fought against the Gundams, Torgus 3 and Taurus. Because the pilots don't want to kill anyone and there were a large number of Serpents, the Gundams had a tough time to fight against it. After Decken was killed, all the Serpents were abandoned, and later in the story, the Wiener family melted all the Neo-Titanium on the Serpents and used them to reinforce colony wars. Thanks for watching this video. What do you think of the Leo's history? Tell me more in the comment section. The Leo is a mass production MS, but if it's used by the right pilot, it's still very powerful.
I agree with one of the commanders that resigned. I think they should have really mass produced the Tragos because it looked as though it was superior to the early iterations or the early developments in the Leo mobile suit. I think they would have probably benefited more from mass producing the Tragos and making the necessary upgrades to make it a formidable suit in this timeline.
Yeah, all these little grunt suits, they're pretty decent. I mean, I think they're better than the ones that we looked at from Seed as far as the customizations that you could do to them. I don't know, I probably would use either the first suit he showed and added some extra stuff to it, or the last one he showed, because both of those suits seemed like they was pretty good.
Yeah, the last one seemed like it was well equipped and well developed for battle anywhere the battle would take you. So most definitely I agree.
Yeah.
That does it for our reaction to this subscriber request. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Also, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll never miss a video from Wade and Wade Reacts.
Right here.
Peace.